I hope you're feeling calm and very relaxed and zen. And if not, don't worry, you will be by the end of this video, as I'll be showing you the Insight Edition's Harry Potter Magical Meditations. Keep calm, breathe in, breathe out, and get relaxed in time for this video, which is going to be the Insight Edition's Magical Meditations Harry Potter Edition. I'm very excited about this. I posted this on my Instagram and everyone absolutely loved it. And someone actually recommended that I do a little video where we could look in depth and I could answer some of the questions. So this is going to be a nice little chit chat video, hopefully answering some very intense magical meditation questions. But by now you know that there are some notices, which are, if you haven't already and you'd like to subscribe and watch more of my videos, you can do at the end of this one. And you can also find me over on Instagram at TheGregWhoLived or my shop page at TheGregWhoLived shop. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to update my shop as I originally planned, but fingers crossed, things are going to get sorted and hopefully that will be coming still. Maybe in spring, but more towards summer of this year. But in the meantime, let's get back to this video. And as I say, Insight Editions were kind enough to gift me the Magical Meditation set. Insight Editions have released a lot of different types of books, activity packs, Hogwarts house books that they did that had all the little artifacts in them. They do a really great job at bringing products that are everyday things like meditation cards, mindfulness cards, and putting a Harry Potter spin on them. I've absolutely loved everything they've ever sent me, and what is just fantastic with them is the quality of the product, and not only that, the design. Whoever they hire at Insight Edition to design everything, I think it is fantastic. It's always beautifully done, and I know a lot of people loved the look of these. So, what are magical meditation cards? Well, I would describe this as a little activity that you can do by yourself. You can do it with a group of friends, a group of family. You could do it over FaceTime, do it in person, however you like. And it's just questions that have the theme of the Wizarding World, but help open yourself up a little bit. These might be really good for sort of icebreaker questions, but I would say that you do have to have a somewhat knowledge of the Wizarding World to make them beneficial. But hopefully if you're watching this video, then you already do. I think that these kind of products are fantastic for really opening up. If you are quite nervous, maybe in front of lots of groups, this could be really nice one-on-one. It's all your own opinions. There's no right answers, no wrong answers. And I think little activities like this are really good mental health boosters. Some of these questions, you know, in a couple of weeks, you might have changed your mind or you want to re-answer them. It's just a little meditation activity, get you thinking, get you in tune with yourself, your thoughts, how you're feeling, and getting your thoughts out with someone else or just by yourself. I have looked through some of the cards like I did in my reel, and there are lots of different categories. They all look beautiful, really insightful questions, and they have that magical little aspect. So I'm going to be taking a little look. But before we do, just to show, this is how they come. And I absolutely love the packaging. They do a brilliant job. It looks quality. It still has the magical kind of glittery aspects, metallic print, Hedwig on the front in front of a Hogwarts silhouette. And it says 64 inspirational cards and a booklet. We've got a little Wizarding World logo at the bottom. And then on the back, this kind of shows all the different cards that are inside. Embrace the knowledge of the Wizarding World with this inspirational card deck featuring different meditative prompts to help you connect to the powerful themes and positive lessons of the Harry Potter films. So like it says, they're going to be more film orientated. However, I think the themes that they're talking about are in the books too, so they're not, I would say, overly film exclusive, but the little booklet is more about the films and has stills from the films and how it could relate to the questions. But it includes 64 card deck and accompanying booklet. So this is how it comes. Lovely little set, very compact, nothing too big, will fit on your bookshelf, in drawers, you know, in a little table, a side unit, perfect. And as we open it up, we have the bag, a lovely little, almost like velour velvet bag that has this gold silhouette, which matches the front cover of Hogwarts, which I think is very nice. But before we take a look at these, let's have a look at the booklet. The same illustration as on the front cover, but if we take a little look inside, it is coloured to match the different subjects on the cards. So they've done a really good job at making this all very cohesive, very easy to understand, to go through and just read about. And it's beautifully printed, really good quality, and it has that new book smell, which I absolutely love and will probably be in my Amortentia Love Potion. And so it has a little introduction, which basically talks about how the messages from the Harry Potter series are ones that we can all relate to, and how they can help you in the Muggle world as well as in the Wizarding world. And they say that they are all questions designed to provoke conversations with yourself on a wide range of topics. Questions which should inspire joy. Some prompts are more thoughtful. And it also says that you can push yourself out of your comfort zone with more serious prompts that they have, tying in with the Harry Potter series, as well as the questions and kind of thoughts relating to each question. There's also some behind the scenes of the Harry Potter series as well. And then it just finishes with, no matter where you are in your journey, this inspirational deck and guidebook will help you summon courage, expel fear, and find a light in the dark. Which is a lovely little sentiment, really beautifully done. And I think this is really good for a range of different ages as well. There's no reason you couldn't do this with teenagers and adolescents or adults. And I think some of the questions are the type of questions that you could also do with, you know, a slightly younger audience as well. They might not get quite as much of the meaningful experience from it, but it's enjoyable and it's something that, as I say, family and a big group of friends could do, or you can just do quietly by yourself, a bit of self-reflection. But the questions are actually divided into, I think, 8 different types. So we've got identity, we've got relationships, values and beliefs, battling our fears, personal growth, experiencing loss, resistance, and flights of fancy. And within the booklet, it even has wonderful little depictions of characters. So here we have Luna, and it says about it being the concept art from the film, and it also has the behind the magic as well. That is the little booklet that it comes with, but of course we need to look at the cards. So this is the bag, and they just came nice and simply in a big kind of chunk. So they're all color coordinated, so the different categories come in the different colors. So for example, you can see there's pink and then green, there's blue, we've got some orange, yellow, and like a cream one as well. So they're all different. And on the card, you have the picture on the front, and then you have a little description about something from the Wizarding world, and then a thoughtful question at the end. So this one is Flights of Fancy, and it talks about Felix Felicis and how it's known as liquid luck. It relates it to the film and what kind of happens in the film, what the effects are. But then the question is, if you could take a dose of Felix Felicis, how would you use your run of good luck? What would you do? And so that opens up the question and the conversation, and it could be something you think about for the day, something you think about for 5 minutes, or maybe you just want your initial reaction. I think it's really good to talk about these things with other people or really mull over it yourself. And there is a whole stack of questions. So I thought it'd be fun to pick one from each of the categories, and I'm going to answer it right now. So I'm actually going to go the opposite way, and I'm first going to pick one from identity. So here are the questions, and I think I'm going to pick this one. It is said that what least attracts us says as much about our identities as what most attracts us. Which Hogwarts house do you feel the least affinity with? What do you think that says about you? So for this question, I think I would actually surprise myself, and I think I would go with Gryffindor as being my least attractive house. Not to say that I don't want to be in Gryffindor, but more that I don't see myself as particularly brave or particularly courageous. I think that is something I need to work on. I think being ever so slightly anxious in certain situations, I could be a lot more vocal and a lot bolder and really get my point across, but getting the kind of oomph to do that can sometimes be a little bit difficult. I would say that I am very loyal and I do, stick up for my friends and I'm there for my friends. So I think I have that kind of trait from the Gryffindor side. But I do always think of Gryffindors as very proud, quite confident, quite bold, and I just don't think that is necessarily the traits that I have. I thought I would have gone with Slytherin, but I actually love that they're ambitious and they have drive, and I think I do have that. I do have ambition. So it would be Gryffindor. And I think, like I said, what that says about me is maybe I need to be braver. I need to embrace the Gryffindor within a little bit more and maybe be bold in the things that I want. Next up, we have relationships. So I think this time I'm going to pick one near this end. In Goblet of Fire, Ron becomes jealous of Harry when he's chosen to be a champion. Have you ever been jealous of a friend or a loved one? How did that affect your relationship? Can you work to overcome these feelings? This one I think is a really good question, and being jealous I think is something that I have learned that I think I get it a lot. I'm always one of those people that thinks, oh, why has that person got this thing? But then actually, when I think about it, it's because they worked hard, they put effort into it, and they've strived to get where they are. I think sometimes I get very tunnel vision and I think, oh, well, that's just not fair, I'm super jealous. But actually, I think I found in life, even at just 25 years, that if you want something, you have to put the effort in. Nothing is handed to you on a plate. And I think it definitely has affected my relationships in the past. I know there are friends that I'm no longer friends with, and that is entirely on me because I've been so jealous of them. And as I say, at 25, I think I finally got to the point where if there's something I want, then I need to work for it. I can't just expect to get it. I really have learned to overcome. And when I feel myself getting jealous or that jealousy just appearing, because it can do, it's not something you can control, I just take a step back and just think, well, they have worked hard. Or if you want something like this, you need to put the work in. And so it is sometimes hard to step back and not take it too personally, but it's a feeling that we all feel, I think, throughout our lives. It's not a particularly nice feeling, but what I've learned to do is take it, use it to promote passion in what I want, and then just to go for it. We then have values and beliefs. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Professor Trelawney claims to see the Grim in Harry's teacup. The Grim is a superstition in the wizarding world. What superstitions do you believe in, and how do they affect the way you approach your life? I think this one is quite personal to me because I think it was 3 years ago, I kind of had like a mini, well, it wasn't mini, I had a breakdown which was due to lots of things like stress, work I did not enjoy at all, and what came from this was OCD, which is a condition I have come to be able to kind of control. It doesn't control me anymore, but it all started from the magpie song, which, if you don't know, if you see one magpie, it means one thing. If you see two, it means something else. And this goes up to 7. But the first one is one for sorrow. So if I saw one magpie, it meant that I was going to have a really bad day. And my OCD brain just took over. And I actually believed that if I saw one, it didn't matter if I saw another one 2 minutes later. The fact I'd seen one, I was going to have a bad day. And when you're quite depressed and upset anyway, OCD claws onto this and superstitions become a bit mad. I would say that the only one that I really do now, there's 2 actually. One of them is touch wood, which is just a saying. I don't know why we do it. If there's no wood, you touch your head. And The second one would be that the number 13, which is unlucky for most people, is actually my lucky number. I was born on the 13th of March and I was 13 on Friday the 13th. So it's my lucky number. But apart from that, I don't believe in, if you see a black cat or certain numbers or stepping over drains. I know some people do that one. I've never really believed in superstitions and I've never seen a 4-leaf clover. But until then, I'll say that I don't really believe in them, but they have ruled my life with OCD. But I've very much got control of that, over it. But I'm sure there are lots of superstitions that people do. And if you do any, don't forget to comment them below. Battling our fears. Words, in my not so humble opinion, are most inexhaustible source of magic, capable of both inflicting injury and remedying it. And the question, do you have a particular quote or personal mantra you use to get you through difficult times? If not, spend some time today thinking about it and see if anything comes to you. It could be a great comfort or help the next time you need it. So as well as questions which are leading you to kind of think about things, they're also giving you little activities for things that you can do, not just in the now, but going forward after using the cards. For me, that is a really tough question, but I always live, I think, by the thing of A, if you sleep on it, tomorrow will be better, and B, which is a positive, but things could always be worse. And when I'm in a bad situation, say I've lost my phone, I would think, well, at least I have my car keys. If you lost everything you ever owned, that would be the worst case scenario. But anything above that, it's not as bad. Things could always be worse. So take things that you have and just go forward with those. That's what I'd say is my mantra. Personal growth, which could be interesting. And the quote is, I don't belong here, I belong in your world at Hogwarts. Harry Potter spent the first 11 years of his life with the Dursleys. However, he doesn't believe this is his real home, and his real home is, of course, Hogwarts. Where is your true home? Has this changed as you've gotten older? And what is it about this place that makes it so special to you? I have lived in this house where I film with my parents for 20 years in this particular house. And although I love it, I don't think it's ever really felt like home. I think I'd be quite open to moving. Unfortunately, I haven't at the minute, just due to funds, but it's something that I would consider in the future. I think home is just a place, whereas it's kind of the people that really make it, and when I'm with my friends, that's when I feel the happiest. It's a hard one because Harry, of course, lived with the Dursleys, that wasn't his home, but where he went and found his friends and had a good time, that was his home. But I know a lot of people love being around their family all the time, and their family home is always their core unit, and then they'll go off and do their own things. But I think as I've gotten older, I need that independence, and a house is something that I am currently saving up for. So I think once I get that, maybe my own place will definitely feel a lot more like home. Experiencing loss. And Hedwig is Harry's beloved pet snowy owl. But in the first 6 films, we grow to love her and the friendship that she offers Harry in the darkest times. Do you have a special animal companion that has brought you comfort during difficult times? So for me, I don't think I really have. I've always had pets growing up, whether it be dogs or cats. At one point I had a hamster, and I've also had rabbits, so quite a few. But I've just never really been that close to an animal kind of person, I don't think. I did have a cat that was called Sevi. He must have passed away about 15 years ago, and he was a wonderful little cat. So I think he did bring me a lot of comfort. He would, whenever you were asleep, he would always just come and purr on you, and he did dribble a little bit as well. But I think that would be the only kind of companion that I had for a long time, until I was about, I think about 7 or 8 when he passed away. But apart from that, I haven't really got a sole companion pet. I mean, my family have a pet now, which is a dog called Teddy, but I see him as more as their dog rather than a close dog that I have. So I think another thing about when I move out is I will probably get a pet, and I think I'd say I'm definitely a dog person rather than a cat person. For the penultimate card, we have resistance. I mean, it's sort of exciting, isn't it? Breaking the rules. Occasional harmless rule breaking can be good for you. Take a leaf out of Hermione's book today. Go break a minor rule. So here we are again. We have an example of an activity that you can do. I don't think I really did break any rules that I knew today. Not that I can think of, but these could be rules that you set yourself, maybe goals. For January, I didn't drink any coffee, and today I did drink coffee. It's not a rule I have anymore, but maybe you could have a treat day, or you could do something different in your routine, spice it up, and show a little bit of resistance. And so lastly, we get on to Flights of Fancy, which has a snitch on the front. And now this one has the most enormous description, which is all about the Triwizard Tournament. But the question is, would you volunteer to be a champion in the Triwizard Tournament? Why or why not? And I think, funny enough, this goes back to kind of the first question and about being brave and courageous. I think with some activities, I would love to really put myself forward, but I like to know what it entails. However, with the Triwizard Tournament, it is, or is supposed to be, all a surprise. You're not meant to know what the tasks are, and it has that suspense element and seeing how you react on your feet. Now, we know that most of the tournaments there is cheating and people find out what the tasks are, but I just don't think it would be something I would put myself forward for. I would say that I would love to watch it, but going by the books, you know, the maze, we don't see what's happening in there. We don't see what's happening under the lake, but you do get to see the 4 champions battle dragons, which is pretty cool. And I'd love to know what other tasks they have done before the Triwizard Tournament we see in the books. But for me, I just don't think I'd take that plunge. Some things that I do want to do in life, I think others don't. So I'd love to do an aeroplane parachute one day. And that kind of task I could set myself and psych myself up for. But in terms of a Triwizard Tournament, I think it's a no from me. So there we go. There is me answering some more of the questions. I hope you've loved this kind of little chit chat, nice and relaxed video. I have really, really loved showing you these meditation cards. I think they're brilliant. I think it's a really good idea to get people talking, get you thinking about yourself, how you feel, what your thoughts are. And it goes without saying that this was a gifted product to me, so I didn't pay any money for it, but I cannot highly recommend it enough. A lot of people messaged me on Instagram to ask where I got it from, and I was actually sent this by Insight Editions, but it is readily available from Amazon, shops like Waterstones, Smiths, so definitely check out online, and they are Harry Potter meditation cards. So with that, I have come to the end of this video, in this little product review. What did you think of the cards, and is it something you are going to buy yourself? As usual, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you once again to Insight Editions for sending me the meditation cards, and until next time, you can watch some more of my videos in this playlist up here, or subscribe just at the bottom there. I've been the Greg who lived, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.